Orianatato, and welcome to the game show Gauntlet Quiz Snack. This is your virtual pub quiz experience from the comfort of your own wherever you are. Because the internet is all over the place. It's all around us. It's in the air we breathe. It's in the water we drink. It's in the drugs that we intravenously... Anyway, that got away from me. I've got 5 questions. You'll give me 5 answers. And how you'll do that is you'll write them down on a piece of paper, and then we'll go over them. We're not interacting. I just want you to know that. This is a pre-recorded video, and I can't see or hear you, but in the future, I'll check the comments, and I'll see that you got 5 for 5, and then I'll say, I'm really proud of you, sport, and you'll wonder if I was condescending or not. I was. Maybe. Let's play! Just kidding, I don't want to be condescending. I'm very proud of you all for playing along and for supporting me on this journey of making videos about trivia. Today's category is Name the Decade. So I'm going to read you a bunch of events that happened, and you just have to tell me what decade it happened in. For instance, if I asked you these things: the Portuguese first make contact with Taiwan, the Duchy of Brittany unites with the Kingdom of France, and Gerardus Mercator makes his first globe. Obviously, we all know through our elementary school history lessons that these all happened in the 1540s. Okay, none of us knew that. They're going to be a little bit easier than that, but I just needed to give you an example. So, I'll give you events, you name the decade. Got your pen, got your paper? You're all set to go? Let's play the quiz snack. I'm going to read you some events, and then I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about when those events happened. Jot down what you think the answer could be. Here is question number 1. The first MRI image was published. Isabel Martinez de Perón became president of Argentina. Air India Flight 855 crashed into the sea off the coast of India. And Soul Train premiered. What decade did all these events happen in? Apologies to Don Cornelius for me saying Soul Train that way. That was not great. Question number 2. Here are some events. When did they happen? John Logie Baird invented the first working mechanical television system. The tomb of Tutankhamun was discovered intact. The Museum of Modern Art opened in Manhattan. And the Lost Generation rose to prominence. In what decade did all these events happen? If you're really impressed that I managed to read that whole thing without stumbling once, hit the like button. Because God knows that was a feat of modern reading for me to read all that without stumbling once. I'm proud of myself. Next question. James Cook discovers the Sandwich Islands. Marie Antoinette gets married to Louis Auguste, later Louis XVI. The Phi Beta Kappa Society is founded at the College of William and Mary, and the Stars and Stripes is adapted as the flag of the United States. What decade did these things happen in? I know the food was named after the person who named the sandwiches, or who the Sandwich Islands were named after. But damn, I wish it was a Sandwich Island. It sounds so decadent. Just the trees grow ham and cheese sandwiches all the live long day. When you move in, you get one of those triangle presses where it makes the cheese all burnt and crusty. Oh. All right, next question. Someone's going to isolate me making that noise, and it's not going to be great for me. Here's the next question. The Taliban seizes control of Afghanistan. The first McDonald's opens in Moscow. Dances with Wolves wins the Best Picture Oscar. The Prodigy get flack for their single Smack My Bitch Up. And the first GSM cell phone network is launched in Finland. What year did all these things happen? And will I get demonetized for saying the word bitch? Also, sorry, I said it again. I mean, specifically, this is not for children, but I mean, trust me, if your kids are over the age of 12, they've heard the word bitch already. Bitch and moan. They giggle whenever someone talks technically about a female dog. I mean, I'm sorry, but also deal with it. You can tell I don't have kids. Unwanted parenting advice. All right, this is the, I think this is the last one. Yeah, I think it's the last one. I should have written them all down. Can you tell I don't prepare much for these? Here's the last question, maybe. Construction on the Erie Canal begins. Indiana becomes a state. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is published. And James Madison signs a declaration of war against England. In what decade did all these things happen? And that's all 5. Finish jotting down what you think your answers are. Put them on your little notebook with your little pen and or paper and or pencil. And let's go over some of the answers. But first, let's have a talk, you and me. Just us. No one else is around. I need you to like, comment, and subscribe. I really need you to. I mean, I guess I don't need you to. I'll do this regardless. But if you like, comment, and subscribe, then more people find out about this thing, and then I make more because I am an ego-driven maniac. If you really want to feed the ego monster inside me, you'll go to Patreon. You go to patreon.com/packdude and you'll support me. Even $1 a month goes a long way toward my inner child being approved upon by random strangers. That's enough of my inner psyche. Let's get to some answers! Okay, we're going to go over these, starting with question numero uno. Question number 1. I asked you to name the decade in which these events took place. The first MRI machine was published. Isabel Martinez de Perón became president of Argentina. Air India Flight 855 crashed into the sea off the coast of India. And Soul Train premiered. I hope that was better. Leave a comment if that was better or worse. If you got it right, you said the 1970s. All those things happened in the groovy decade of the 1970s. Well, maybe the plane crash wasn't so groovy, but everything else was. This is the problem with digging into the past. You make big generalizations and then you call a giant tragedy groovy. All right, here's the next question. I've added a lot of pressure to myself. I have to say this pretty good again. Oh boy. John Logie Baird invented the first working mechanical television system. The tomb of Tutankhamun was discovered intact, the Museum of Modern Art opened in Manhattan, and the Lost Generation rose to prominence. Booyah! I know how to read. All of these things happened. I can't even say the easiest sentence to say. These things happened. Couldn't do it. These things happened in the 1920s. The 1920s. You know, was that Gatsby? Art Deco? Great Depression? Oh yeah. None of those things are relevant today. All of those things are relevant today. Here is the next question. We asked you to name the decade that these things happened in. James Cook discovers the delicious-sounding Sandwich Islands. Marie Antoinette gets married to Louis XVI. The Phi Beta... Well, he wasn't Louis XVI then. I'm shortening it, but then the explanation made it longer. This has gone to pot already. Great. The Phi Beta Kappa Society is founded at the College of William and Mary, and the Stars and Stripes is adapted as the flag of these United States. And all of these things happened in the great decade of the 1770s. Stars and Stripes, baby! 13 stars, 13 stripes. And then we didn't get any more creative. We had plenty of time to revise, and we just, you just stick on more stars until eventually we're owning it. It's our brand, I guess. And America is nothing if not a brand-conscious country. One day our flag will have the Coca-Cola logo on it, and we won't bat an eye. Here's the next question. The Taliban seizes control of Afghanistan. The first McDonald's opens in Moscow. Dances with Wolves wins the Best Picture Oscar. The Prodigy gets flack for their single Smack My Bitch Up. And the first GSM cell phone network is launched in Finland. These are not the most generic 1990s things I could think of, but they all did indeed happen in the 1990s. I could have thrown a Tamagotchi in there, or a Ecto Cooler, I guess, but I went a little more esoteric. You know, nothing more 90s kids than overthrowing Afghanistan. George W. Bush, ultimate 90s kid. Politics! Apologies. Alright, and the last question I asked you was this. Construction on the Erie Canal begins. Indiana becomes a state. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is published. And James Madison signs a declaration of war against England. Did you know we went to war in England in the 1810s? Isn't that the war? I think that's exactly what the War of 1812 was. I should have Googled that, because I'm just thinking about that. Oh, yeah, 18... Well, let's see. War of 1812 was a conflict between the United States and the United Kingdom. Historians in Britain often see it as a minor theater of the Napoleonic Wars, while historians in the United States and Canada see it as a war in its own right. There you go. And it was started by James Madison, in a way. We've all learned something today, including that I should probably take better notes. And that's the game! How did you do? Leave a comment below and let me know. In the meantime, I have to do all the begging. Yeah, if you liked what you saw, if you didn't like what you see, leave me a comment. I read all the comments because, like I said, ego-driven monster. Here are my Patreon subscribers. They are the ones who truly feed the beast. Thank you, and you. If you'd like to be a Patreon subscriber, go to patreon.com/hackdude. For me, and for you, and for all of us, I'll see you next time on the Game Show Gauntlet Quiz Snack.